all right, folks. We want to welcome you to yet another edition of Idele-Ero show, happening live on Facebook and YouTube as usual. Once again, we have uh, a very big show today, and we expect you all to be part of this show. Um, I am going to start introducing my guest to you in just a second, okay? And do not forget, when we come on this show, I like to always play my intro music, which is recorded and produced by our great Rastafari, a reggae legend based in Holland, talking about Black Rice. We always like to start the show with this music on the background. We'll play that in just a little bit. And after that, the guests, I will bring them in to you, okay? So that we will be part of this show today. In 1 second, I will play the music of Black Rice. And the title of this one is Immortal. Immortal. That was the music of reggae legendary Black Rice. I'm informing Facebook and YouTube that I have the authority to play that music because the author is actually part of this show, the Idele-Ero show. Well, thank you very much for that music. I want to continue with this.
Hey, what's up? This is Monday Midnight here, and I'm going to be joining Joe Brown Idele-Ero on the Joe Brown Idele-Ero show, coming to you live from Dallas, Texas.
All right, the great show is here, and we're going to just begin by introducing the guests one by one. I have with me already in the studios, reggae legendary Black Rice. He is here with me in the studios as usual. That's him right there. You know, Black Rice, for you all who don't know him and those who already know him, Black Rice is a reggae artist that has been around for decades. And he's produced a lot of music, backed up by a lot of legends, reggae artists. He has his voices have been all over around the world. And he's an activist. He uses his music also to reach out to the government all around the world to make sure they do things right and free the oppressed. Reggae artist, Mr. Black Rice, you are welcome to the Joe Brown Idele-Ero show.
Thank you very much. Greetings in that divine name of our Lord and Savior, Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ, Rastafari, Selassie.
All right, good. It looks like Elder is trying to get on the studio. Let me see what he's saying here. He said they need to connect their microphone before you can add them. Elder Black Rice, Elder Rasta Jabulani, if you can hear me, please connect your microphone or and your video so that we can add you to the studio. I'm talking about Elder Rasta Jabulani. I can see you are about to get in the show, but you need to activate your microphone and video, okay? So that we can continue the show. In the meantime, I'm also expecting a Rasta Pam, Mike Pam. I see he tried to get in the show as well, but it looks like okay, his device was acting up. I think he's here right now. In the meantime, I'm going to bring his picture to your screen. I'm talking about Rasta Mike Pam. This is Rasta Mike Pam. As you all know, I think I introduced him. In my publications. I'm talking about my advertising. My parent is the chairman of the Nigeria chapter of the Reggae Rastafari. Rastafari, what do you call it, sir?
Nigeria Rastafari.
Bless and love, King.
Community. Yes, sir.
Great. All right, so that's the picture of Rasta my parent and your screen. And I believe Elder is still trying to get connected. But in the meantime, we're talking about Rasta Mike Pan is already here with us in the studio. So Superstar Black Rice is also here with us. And like I said, you remember that Mike Pan is the chairman of Nigeria Rastafari Community, the target NRC. He is based in Lagos, Nigeria. Rasta Mike Pan, you are welcome to the Idele-Ero show, sir. Are you there? Hello, Rasta? Oh, okay. It looks like it disappeared again. Anyway, that was Mike Pan that showed up in just a minute. I think his device is acting up again, but he'll be back. He'll be back. I can guarantee you that. So, Mr. Black Rice, the program, the topic before us once again, you remember that it is the returning of the living sporas, the returning of the Livingsporas. Remember, folks, that we have what they call diaspora, and as well, we are introducing to you another name, Livingsporas. That is the reason why we are expecting Mike Pan, Rasta Mike Pan, and Elder Rasta Jabulani, because they have a lot to tell us about this very, very subject, the returning of the living sporas. So I think I'm getting that right. It's kind of a little bit difficult for me to say. Yes, sir.
Indeed.
So, Rasta Mike Pan, I'm not going to waste too much of your time to say something to us, because I know your device is kind of acting up a little bit. With any little opportunity, I want to quickly have you introduce yourself. Rasta.
Blessings, King.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, okay, well, that's all right. I think we're going to be having him in and out while the program is going on. Anyway, so one more time, I'll have the honor to introduce to you my legend, your legend, reggae superstar based in Holland, Mr. Rastafari Black Rice.
Greetings in the divine name of our Lord and Savior, Yeshua HaMashiach, Jah in his kingly character. I greet you all. One love, one heart. Rastafari lives. Yes, I greet you, Rasta.
Thank you, Rasta. That was reggae superstar Black Rice. Like I said, we are still waiting on. Okay, here you go again. His device is going off and on, but we're gonna have to deal with it the way it is. Okay, so please bear with us, folks. I'm going to make sure that we have them to say something very, very important today regarding this subject, because they are the one that has opened it up in Africa. And for those who don't know, it's going to be an awareness interactive program today, so that y'all will know about what it means when they say the returning of the Livingsporas. Rasta, Mike Pan, can you please say something about this subject?
Blessed love, my King.
All right, here we go. I don't know. This is gonna be funny today, right?
Yeah, man. That is Africa connection for you, yeah. You know, yeah. We always say that anything they brings to us in Africa, it's not for our benefit. It's just for them to humiliate us. You know, until we start to make our own things, Rasta. Me, I tell you what. Until we start to create our own thing, whether it's the best or not, we have to make do with what we make. Anything they bring to us is to disgrace us, to humiliate us, and to ridicule us. So we can't depend on these people. They don't mean any good for us. We have been very, very hospitable to them. Black man never bring down no humanity, no human beings. We always open our hands to welcome everybody. That's why when they come to Africa now, they want this, we give them at their own price. But when they bring things to us, they're going to make sure they bleed us, of the liquor we have. So I'm not surprised at what is going on there now. If I was there, it would be happening the same way, Yeah, the fault is not in us. But
yeah, I can understand that. I can understand that what you're trying to tell us is that it's about time Africa wake up to the call that we should depend on our own production. Whatever we produce, we use. We should not continue to depend on depend on these people out there. They colonize us. We have gained independence. It is about time for us to move on.
That's right.
So I think that's that's what it is. You see, so he is coming in and out. Ed, I tried to also get in, but he can't. You see, we're having trouble. We're having trouble.
He's also in Africa. He's in Zimbabwe.
I know, it's in Zimbabwe. You see, so
this man is also in Lagos, Nigeria.
Lagos, Nigeria, and Zimbabwe. By the petition of who to like a challenge. It's like a challenge. Who gets connected right now? Anyway, this is it's not funny anymore. Yeah, so once again, Rastaman, Mike Pan, I'm sorry that your device is acting up. I wish it can just get stabilized. Can you please say something, sir?
Yes, give thanks, my brethren. Like I said before, for the opportunity. I don't know what's going on. I was.
It's the network, Rasta. It's network. They know it.
Network.
It's network. It's the network. It's not in. I would say you know what is going on. It's the network. Even the banking system will tell you, no, sorry, we don't have network. So how can you get my money? How can I get my money from the bank? I used to go internet banking. So I want to get some money. Say no, we're sorry, we can't. We don't have network. That's crazy word, man. It's really really hurting, man. I don't know. It's hurting.
Africa, Africa, Africa.
Yeah, man. We got to do our
We-
own thing. If we
Africa,
want to just forget about the internet, we forget about interneting and everything. We start to do our own thing. Nobody's pushing us to go internet. They cannot force us to do what we don't want to do or what they want to humiliate us by. We just don't want to go internet. We just go locally, do our own banking system in our own legal way. Like Gaddafi was trying to do. Gaddafi did a lot for Africa, Rasta. No man, that man is getting the little recognition that he's supposed to get. He's not getting there enough at all because that man was the president of Africa. I tell you what.
well, once again, we're going to have to deal with it. And if it's unable to connect, if it's unable to connect, there's nothing we can do about it. It looks like he's not going to be able to do it. So you keep
You
going
can see the
in and
network.
out.
You can see his network is rolling. It's rolling.
Yeah, it's rolling.
There's no strength in it. There's no strength because
It don't have it.
these people are in Africa. They're just taking his money. Anytime he connects like that, the money is running with speed.
Rasta,
It's data.
Mike, what's going on? Oh my God, here we go again. Oh my God, yes. I think.
It's terrible, Rasta. I can't believe it,
Oh
man.
man, this is
Yeah.
unbelievable. This
His
is
is also
exactly what happened the last time. Remember, it's exactly
shit.
what happened the last time, and we couldn't really get so much out of the
Right,
show, and it's
right.
repeating itself again. I
Yeah.
see Rasta uh, Jabulani is also trying to get in, but he just can't. I hope he's listening to us. Maybe he can make his contribution later on. Can make his contribution later on, either on just text messages or give us a call on the WhatsApp number that I'll be displaying on the screen in just a few more minutes. Okay, well, Rasta man, uh, Black Rice,
Yes,
the
sir.
returning of the Livingsporas. Can you
Yes.
tell us once again? Can you give us a definition? If Rasta Mike Pan is able to get it, we will also ask him the same question. What do you mean when you say the returning of the Livingspora?
The Livingsporas are the living ones, the ones that are living now, or the children of the diasporas, people that were taken away from Africa by force during the slave trade era. So they are living now, they are the living sporers. That's how we call it. That's how we're recognizing them now because we don't want to call them the diasporas. Diaspora is it's a colonial word that is gone, dead, and buried. We don't want to hear that again. This living sporers is the recent ones that are willing to come back to Africa to stay, to find their space. So while we are asking for the European slave dealers and slave drivers to pay reparation, we are still asking our homeland accomplices to pay their own reparation to the living sporers because they're coming back home. They need something to fall back on. They need inheritance in Africa where their forefathers were taken away from. Their forefathers are our own brothers, our own uncles. Yes. So because Moses gave a piece of land to some Israelites on that side of the river, and his brother gave the other side of the river to the Israelites as an inheritance. So we are asking our home front to give the Livingsporas their own inheritance in Africa. The Livingsporas are the children of the slaves. They are Black Americans. They are, I'm sorry, African Americans, not Black Americans, African Americans, African Jamaicans, all African, Brazilians, whatever African, Englishman, they all the Livingsporas. Even you are a Livingspora because you now live overseas, and we're asking you to bring your know-how, technical know-how, back to Africa, that we fix that continent, that we can live well and together, that we can enjoy. You know, we are not just asking the Europeans to come and build for us. We're asking the Livingsporas to come back home with their know-how.
All right, thank you so much, Rasta Black Rice. I'm gonna bring in Rasta Mike Pan, the chairman of this movement in Nigeria. Right now, we have been experiencing his in and out network, but I guess it's a little bit stabilized right now. So I'm going to ask him the same question that I just asked you. Rasta Mike Pam, you are the chairman of the Nigerian Rastafari community that is championing this cause of the returning of the Livingsporas. Can you please tell us what you mean by Livingspora? Because we already know about diaspora. Now we are talking about Livingsporas. The Rastafari, under which you are the chairman, the community, they are championing this cause. Can you please give us an insight of what you mean by the Livingsporas?
Indeed, my king. Indeed, blessed love once again. Before I go ahead, I must say blessed love to my elder, my kingly and priestly elder, Black Rice. One love, Father.
Greetings.
Selassie, greetings, my king. Yes, Joe Brown, Livingspora, like you just mentioned the opposite word of that, diaspora. I and I is Rastafari. We not deal with death, we deal with life, we deal with liberty. So just like I and I don't dedicate, and I leviticate. So I and I deal with diaspora because our people out there are not dead; they are living. So they are the Livingsporas. That's talking about Africans abroad. Because you must understand the genesis is that every black man is an African. That's the original, cradle of civilization. So everything started from Africa. So every black man you see has a root in Africa. So once you're outside the mother continent, outside the continent of Africa, you are a Livingspora, as far as I know is concerned. The African Union, which took over from the Organization of African, OAU, has given the Livingspora, a space in Africa. So they are known now in our own context as the 6th region of Africa. So all the Africans who
Oh man, there we go.
Yes.
Oh my God. Anyway, all right. Once again, we're back to the two of us again in the studios. Hopefully, he fixed that and come back. Okay, here we go.
He will join back. It's just this network fluctuation.
Right. They try their best.
Don't worry, King. We are used to fighting spiritual wickedness in higher places. So, and they can't stop us. You know what I mean? So,
No
They just
way.
can't
the
stop
African Union,
us. They can't stop us. Go
the
ahead,
African
sir.
Union has recognized. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah, I
sir.
can hear you. We can hear you.
Can you hear me, King?
Yeah,
Live,
we
we
All
can
can.
right,
hear you.
all right. So the African, yeah, man, the African Union recognized the Livingspora as the sixth region of Africa. So even they have representatives in AU right now. So in the Rastafari Continental Council, which is the continental superstructure of all Rastafari activities in Africa, we have representatives of the sixth region too. Like I am the continental spokesperson of RCC in Africa. And I deputy is Dr. Stewart, Queen Mother Moses. She was born in Jamaica and lives in America. So she represents the sixth region as the deputy spokesperson of RCC in Africa. So what we are doing is what already we've started with Ghana. In the year 2019, all of us were in Ghana to herald the Year of Return. Year of Return was a beautifully crafted idea by the Ghanaian government in giving citizenship to over 300, them living outside the continent, Jamaica, all the Caribbean, America, and Europe. The invitation is also extended to them in Asia. So Ghana was the first to do this, and it was beautiful. In 2019, we were there as Rastafari people heralding this. So it was called the Year of Return. And they had a lot of them coming back to Africa with their knowledge, with their finance, with their educational know-how, with their scientific breakthroughs, with their relationship and business partnerships and all that. That's pretty huge, So they were given land grants, they were given citizenships, and they were given opportunity to rise like any other Ghanaian. And right now, the economic turnaround you're seeing in Ghana is being propelled by these ones, them, and a lot more are coming. Just like my Lord mentioned the last time we were supposed to be here, The Mali family were the first to want to do it here in the 80s under the Babangida administration. But because of the fact that you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow in Nigeria, Nigeria is a very volatile society. And then under the military, anything could happen, coups could take place anytime, anybody can do anything. So upon everything the Malis, they tried the same Badagry that we are trying to bring up right now. They picked Badagry. So there's a spiritual touch with Anai Rastafari in Badagry. They picked Badagry, they did everything they wanted to do, but the government didn't do what they should do. And Ghana lost became Ghana's glory again. So the Mali family has been present in Ghana for a whole long time now, since the 80s. They are in Kumasi and they are in Accra. They have Mali shops, Mali everything, and all that, helping the economy of Ghana. And that's why you see a lot of Rastas, a lot of musicians, a lot of black intellectuals from America, from Europe, from the Caribbean coming to Ghana to lecture, and to do a lot of things, because already there is a groundwork that is set up to help absorb all these ones coming in with everything they're coming in with. So here in Nigeria, we are the biggest economy in Africa. We are the largest, most populous black nation in the whole world. So we should be, showing others the road. So alongside, elders like my Lord Black Rice and some of the elders in Africa and then in Nigeria, we felt like, no, the time has come for us to do the needful. And Nigeria is the right place to start this with. So after our convention, our conference, the first Nigerian Rastafari Community Conference, which held in Badagry last year from the 1st of November to 6th of November, 1 week, all Rastafari activity, actually the first Rasta week in Nigeria, it was hugely successful, a lot of things involved. So with the success, of that enterprise, and the fact that a lot of, remember, this was our own indigenous Rastafari conference, but we had a lot of Africans from the Livingspora and the mother continent that came through, because, you know, this is Nigeria. A lot of people wants to come home, but they don't have the opportunity. They don't have the level playing field. They don't have brothers, tilling the ground for them to come and, and sow their seeds. So we felt that, okay, this is the time for us to do that, because if we can attract such attention from the conference, our own indigenous conference, and a lot of people wants to come around here, this is the right time to do it. And of course, a lot of people have been clamoring for this to be done in Nigeria so they can come home. And we are talking about scientists. We are talking about doctors. We are talking about engineers in all strata of engineering field. We are talking about medical professionals in every field. We are talking about people that can change their environments. And of course, we are talking about superstar celebrities, musicians, artists, creative arts, and all that. So this is a whole gamut of new vistas of door openings, of window openings, of chimney openings, of a whole variety of openings for people to see, breathe, and live their lives. So Africa is stretching forth its hands to welcome its liberators, and Rastafari is the liberator of Africa. So, if we are waiting for our governments to do these things, which are actually long overdue, they won't do it for us. So we have to, start it off. And luckily, my Lord Black Rice is right now in Netherlands, but before he left the shores of this country, me and him and a couple of I, then we had series of meetings with the government, and the meetings are ongoing right now. So there's a new breath of fresh air. There's a new overstanding. That's understanding. By Rasta, we don't under, we over. So there's a new understanding of ideas of the right things to be done, and now you have the right soldiers, you have the right foot soldiers, you have the right trumpeters, you have the right carriages, you have the right horses, and you have the right choir masters to make it work. So if we can't do it now, there's no other time we're going to do it. So if you ask me, when do you do it? It is now. How do you do it? We know how. And when do we do it? Right now. And with who? With all Africans. Just like you're lending your own support with your own platform. We want all Africans to understand the fact that this is the time for us to big up Mother Africa and close hands together and make it work. And Rastafari will lead the way every time. Blessed Lord.
Rastafari, Selassie.
Selassie.
Oh, that is so interesting. Now, you see, that is what we missed the last time. Unfortunately, like you said, we're going to keep fighting. We are going to keep fighting. This is part of it.
Babylon are fighting back. They don't like we are, we don't like them.
Yeah, we don't like them at all. The Black Nationals a lot on it that no matter what they do, we're going to keep fighting them. Because whatever they put to us does not favor us. They brought things that will favor them. So it is about time for Africans to wake up. And that's exactly what you're talking about. I want to commend your effort for all that you are doing. We're not through yet. So I'm going to ask questions today so that our people who don't know what's going on, they will know today. They will know from now on. I'm going to keep repeating the program on this platform. I'm going to keep repeating it on this platform so that the awareness will spread everywhere, all around the world. Okay? So I promise you your commendation for me using this platform to project this program, this valuable program that you guys are doing. The government ain't ready to do it, like you said. It's got to be started by some people, and I am proud of you, Legend Black Rice, Elder Jabulani, and many others, Rasta, behind this program. I want to commend you guys for all that you're doing. Now we know the meaning of Livingsporas? That's the very first question that people are asking. What is the meaning of that? We know about diaspora, we know about diaspora, but we don't know Livingspora. So now they should be knowing what the meaning of the Livingspora is today. But we still have our elder try to get in whenever he's able to do that, he's welcome. But now my next question is, you talk about this program starting in Ghana in full force, okay? Ghana has started it in full force and it is spreading. Now, when you guys started this program in Ghana, did you involve the government of Ghana? Rastaman, is it still there?
Come again, my king. Come again.
Okay,
the audio is waving. Come again with the question.
Okay, the question that I asked you, that it all started now in Ghana. It is spreading in Ghana. People have been returning home in Ghana. They have been given the opportunity of owning homes, businesses, and all that. I said, when it all started in Ghana, did you guys involve the government of Ghana?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. How else would they have gotten the land grants and the naturalization certificates of becoming citizens of Ghana if the government is not involved? Don't forget that in some of these things, legislature, the legislature of each country are going to be involved. So, of course, the legislature in Ghana were involved through the government before they were granted the opportunity to become citizens of the country and to be given land grants. It's not easy for you to become a citizen of any nation. Rastafari alone, we can't make once and one citizens. Of course, we know every African, there's no alien, there's no black alien in Africa. Every black man is an African. There's no black alien in Africa. But because of, just like my Lord Black Rice said the last time, because of the artificial demarcation, forced on us by the colonial masters, now dividing, now you have Nigeria, you have Ghana, you have Benin, you have all that. These were our brothers before. We didn't have that, all those kind of borders, We had our little kingdoms around, but everywhere was our home. You see me? So now, without the government coming in, there is no way these people will become full citizens of the nation. So the Ghanaian government, under Akufo-Addo as the president, did massively well. So I still commend the President Nana Akufo-Addo, for what he and his government did that time and what they are still doing. The beauty of it all was that same time we made sure that we had something we call AARG, All African Rastafari Gathering. All African Rastafari Gathering. And this is all the Rasta community in Africa and all the Rasta people from the Livingspora coming together in Africa for a couple of days, for summit, for cultural exchanges, for exhibitions, arts exhibitions, and sales and networking. So the Ghanaian government made sure that their date aligned with our AARG and RCC summit. And that was marvelous. That was beautiful. So we were there to welcome. We Africans were there to welcome all these, our brethren from the Livingspora, alongside the government of Ghana, not just the Rastafari people in Ghana. And that's what we also intend to do here, So we wanted to, by the time this gets underway, we'll make sure it coincides with a big Rastafari ceremony where we'll have some of the items coming in from all over the world. Next 2 months in May, early May, we'll be hosting like 12 of the items from the Livingspora, coming to Nigeria for the first time to check out Nigeria, and even the government of Lagos State is already interested in hosting them because they've seen what we did in November, and they're very much interested in moving along with us because our vision seems to align with the kind of vision they've had for a long time, and nobody's coming up to support it in their own way. except people coming to ask them for money and all that. We, Rastafari, we now need nothing. We just go ahead and do the right thing because we are directed and sent by the Most High Jah. So it's not about the finance, it's about the publicity, it's not about the love, it's all about the growth of Africa and making Mother Africa very proud. Bring back our children and all that are called by her name under one roof to build up Africa as one so that we will live forever this subjected level of third world country they are putting us under. Africa is a mighty continent. Europe cannot survive 1 year without resources from Africa. America will die under 1 month without the resources from Africa. None of these countries, the so-called first world, will survive without Africa. And the time has come for us to win ourselves out of all these things and build up Mother Africa the way it should be. Africa is the new civilization. It was the cradle of civilization. Now it is regenerating again to become the new civilization that everybody must come back to Africa. And it behoves I and I to make it work. That's why we don't deal with diaspora. We deal with the Livingspora because they'll be alive to come back to Africa, to enjoy in Africa, help us build up Mother Africa. Rastafari.
The last
Rastafari. Oh my God. You see, this one, before I bring in a legend, Rastafari, this one brings me to memory of Peter Tosh. He said, wherever you are, all over the world, as long as you are a black man, you are an African.
That's right.
You are an African. That's what Peter Tosh said. Going on. That's what you are strengthening today. That everybody. Once you are a black man, you are an African, and we need to be united. And that's the move that you guys are making with this returning of the Livingsporas. Okay, now I want to ask legendary Black Rice. Now, the last time the chairman was a little bit out of touch because of the devices that was misbehaving, or due to the fact that we haven't owned our own yet. We still rely on on those people. Let me put it that way. But anyway, so now that we're back here, the Livingsporas that are everywhere in the world, you guys have started the move of bringing them in, okay? I asked the question the last time, and I want to ask again. If you answer, Rasta, my pen also can answer the question, the same question. I ask you, is there a way that you guys are making the registration known to these people that are outside the country? I don't need to register because I go to Africa every time, but what Mr. Black Rice said about us, including me, is that it's about time for us to start returning home. But there are some people who are not willing to do that. He also talked about that the last time. Remember that. There are some who are not willing to come back, and some who are willing. Those that are willing, first of all, let's deal with that. Okay, we have to deal with those who are willing. Is there a way that you guys can make it known to all of them that this is a place you need to go to, like a liaison office? Let me put it that way. For example, Mr. Black Rice is based in the Netherlands. There should be a liaison office all over where they can go and register, and then they will be giving directives on how to go about the movement, because there are a lot of people, a lot of black folks that are willing to relocate back home, that are willing to return back home according to this movement that you guys have started. So is there any liaison officer in Europe, in America, in the UK, in Canada, everywhere? Black Rice.
Yes, King. Yes, King. Let me take it this way, King. First, like Harrietta Tubman said, she freed 100 slaves. She would have freed thousands more if they knew, if they only knew they were slaves. She would have freed thousands more if they only knew they were slaves. So Rastafari is freeing a whole lot of people, But you can't force a man to get freedom. A man has to be ready to get freedom. You see, it's a self-conscious thing. You see, it's just the Rastafari conception. It's a deeper conception of the heart. It's not about how you look or how you speak. No, it's about the conception of the heart. So that is one. Two, Rastafari wouldn't want to deal in that kind of situation where Britain, just dredge their society and their jails and cells of all the bad people and all the killers and murderers, and send them to America, send them to Australia, to New Zealand, and all that. Instead of, two options. It's either you're hanged, or you spend life imprisonment, or you are deported to some colony to go help them build up the country. That was why the real pilgrimage fathers in some of these societies were robbers, we are killers, we are murderers. We are the dregs of the society. So Rastafari, we are first looking out for the true African people who are desirous of coming back to Africa, who have what it takes. Like my Lord Black Rice told you about what Marcus Garvey said the last time, We don't want the dregs of the society. We want the best of the best. So before we can put up something like that, we have to first pick up the best, because there's a long waiting list. There's a list, a long, very long line. You see me, sir? Waiting list of people we can verify who they are, people who can vouch for, people who we know their consciousness and tenacity and sincerity of purpose when it comes to repatriation back to the motherland. It's not about the dregs of the society, people who are trying to run away from some crimes and all that, or who are coming to start to build up a crime empire. No, man, we don't need them. It's the white boy who do that to Australia and, and New Zealand and the Americas and all that. Oh, boy. We don't need the dregs of the society. So first we have to build up with the conscious man them. So after that, when we know we have that community of conscious Africans who are repatriates, who are already doing well, then them now will serve as example, as the poster boys and girls of the repatriation program, just like what we're doing in Ghana. We have a lot of farmers in Ghana who, personally, that I know, boy, they just want to make you feel like going into farming big time. These are repatriates. So, and these are the ones that are serving as poster boys for the real, genuine Africans who are ready to come back home. Not the ones who are criminally ended. No Rasta. We now need them, fireburn them, wherever they so. So we need the real Africans. Let them come. We set up the standard, and they're the poster boys, and nobody else will come up except those like them, because Zion is a world place, and no sin shall enter there. Rastafari.
So last year, a true talk, brother. That one real for real. You see, we're not going to open a kind of register for people who want to come. Everybody who want to put their name in the register. We don't want to do that. We want people who have already something to do, people who want to contribute to the society, not people who want to ruin the society. They want to come and bully us again. We don't want recolonization. We want brethren who want to come and survive and implant in us what they have been able to study or learn from wherever they're coming from. We don't want people who want to come and bully us. We've been bullied for a long time, man. Some will just come and start to bully you. Yeah, man. We have been bullied for a long time.
True, man.
We don't want no black man come bully no black man anymore. We want people who want to come and show us love. This is what we are bringing to the people. We suffer. When they were being enslaved over there, they were actually enslaving us at home. They took Baba from Benin City to Calabar. So a lot of things happen to us too, man. We suffer too, like they suffered over there. So we are tired of being of living on our nails, man. You know, so we don't open no register for people to come and register. They will want to register. Tell them for $1, they want to register. Tell them for free, they all want to put their names there. No Rasta. We want people who are willing and ready for repatriation.
Who are desirous to come back. Okay,
right.
Thank you so much. Yeah, those who are desirous to come back, yeah, we know that. They are those that are actually wholeheartedly, lovingly welcomed by this Rastafari community.
No, King Joe Brown, a minute. To buttress the point my Lord was making, you know, we have a community, like you know about the Nigerian Rastafari community. So we know all Rastaman in Nigeria. We have RCC in Africa, Rastafari Continental Council, where every African nation is involved. So we know the Rastafari people in each of these African countries. Right now, I serve as the spokesperson and the acting Secretary General of this community in Africa. And we also have the Global Rastafari Secretariat. So we know we are connected worldwide. We know all the Rastafari people in each of these continents because we have communities, we have bodies, and we have working relationships with all this. In fact, RCC have memorandum of understanding with some of these continental bodies. So we do some things collectively. So we know ourselves. So anything like register is just like you're throwing it open for all Dick, Tom, and Harry, no Rasta. We know our people. Like Jah know in people and in people know Jah. Yes, so we now go and look outside for some blood clots come rough to run our thing.
Okay, yeah, I got you, Rasta. You know, now that's a brilliant presentation right there. Let me ask you this, okay? Even if, because I'm still going to keep putting like that, you know, even if we know that not everybody are going to be welcomed, but we still have to make it open. Now, what I'm trying to point out is, do you have? I asked Rasta Black Pride the last time. I think Rasta Black Pride last time. That y'all have something like a website, that people can go to. You can see that people, even if you, all of them cannot qualify. When I say qualify, they are not all going to be welcome, but you can still screen them out. There should be a systematic way of eliminating people that you do not want to come back to constitute a menace again, you know, like it was in the days. Now there will be a way out. First of all, we make it open. This is just my suggestion. Okay? If we make it open and then you set up a committee, you know, that we always screen out people that are not going to be welcome. Those of them that are genuinely, you know, welcome will be admitted. That's what I'm pointing at. I can imagine we do not want this Africa to be polarized again, you know, because we want sanity in Africa. Those are part of your agenda. I understand. So now I'm just trying to make it open so that people will say, "Oh, I don't know about it. Oh, we were not told." I would have loved to go back, you know, for those who are desirous to come back. There are some who are not aware of this program that you guys are championing. That's the reason why I am stressing that there should be somehow either liaison offices or a website and a committee to screen out those that you do not want. It's just like you know, forming any kind of let's say club. There's a way you screen out people as some that are qualified to come in. Let's talk a little bit more about that. I want everybody to be aware. This is awareness program. It has started. Many people didn't know. I would say I didn't know until later when it was opened up to me. So many of us are not aware of it. So how do you make this? How do you kind of publicize this? How do you make it public? That's my point. Rasta.
Okay, not yet, you know, because we can't jump the guns. You know, right now we are still at the teething stage. You know, we are still talking with the government because Rasta and I don't have the land. I don't have the powers to give citizenship. I don't have the powers to grant them all the bona fide unnecessary privileges that are required. You know, so we are still talking with the ones who have the final say, and so far so good. They are listening and they are moving along. But you must understand something about Nigeria. Nigeria is different from Ghana and some other African countries. The other day, I think it was my Lord Black Rice that sent me one video some days ago, you know, about cows entering the city and how the government, you know, no time, no joke.
Yes, sir.
But you know why they don't like Rasta is because we speak facts, we speak true to the authority. So they don't like us that much. You know the truth. You know, Nigeria is not like these other countries. You have people who do not want to see progress in Nigeria. You have people who do not want to see Nigeria grow to some certain level because they feel they can be left behind. You have people in this country who will do anything to make sure that some of these good things we are planning and that we have been doing do not see the light of the day.
That's true.
And I can mention names, but I don't want to put your podcast into a problem. You know, they are here. We know them. You know, so we know that it's going to be a Herculean task when we get to the National Assembly, because Lagos State will not do that when it comes to land grant and all that. That will be the federal legislature. And you know the kind of people that place. You know people who will come and sample their 4, 5, 6 wives and tell you how many children they have. Meanwhile, Nigerians are suffering and dying of hunger.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of people that place. The kind of people that somebody will tell you that they padded the budget with about 3-point-something trillion. And rather than looking into that problem, they'll suspend the guy. Those are the guys there. So Rasta know that it's going to be a Herculean task, but we must do it. The time has come for us to take up the gauntlet and face them up front.
Yes, sir.
The world is evolving. Thankfully, the world is now beyond the global village. It will soon become a global clan. You know, look at us now. You know, from 3 different continents. We are talking here. I'm in Africa. 3 different continents. So this is a global clan, my brethren. You see? So, but they don't understand that in Abuja. Right. They don't understand that in Asurok, nor at the National Assembly. But thankfully, we have a few young people now who are there and who seem to be imbued with some of the newer ideas of world, you know, coming together and the world being a global village and all that. So hopefully, it's going to scale through. We know it's not going to be easy. Nobody ever told us it's going to be easy. Nothing we've done has ever been easy. No, if it's going to be easy, we won't even be here. There will not be a Nigerian Safari community. I'm talking about the website. Yes, yes, there is. But now we are, like my Lord will tell you, we are in the process of rebirth right now with the government. You know, so we and the government are going through some things with CAC right now. So they are on the verge of giving us a new nomenclature and all that. So we have to hang some of the things that have been there so that people don't get misled. So once that is done, hopefully before the end of this new week, that will be settled with we and the government via the CAC, and then we'll now refloat some of these platforms and handles with the new nomenclature, so that people don't get confused and we don't mislead people. Give thanks, King.
All right. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Now,
yes, I am.
As we continue to move along on this.
Joe Brown.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you so much.
I see your own picture is playing film too. Oh, sure, you know. The word is a global clan, I tell you, brethren.
Surely. Now, what we're gonna talk about next is I appreciate the fact that you guys are taking it one day at a time, okay? One step after the other. Now,
That's right.
the government, the Lagos State government is basically involved in it. They are enthusiastic, you know, in projecting this platform to ensuring the success of this platform, of this community movement.
Project.
Now, okay, so the project. So let me ask you this. Is it not possible for you to use Lagos State as a step up to reach the federal government? Don't you think it is a possibility when you talk to the state governor, for example, or the state government, Lagos State government, where you are based, right there? I understand that they're going to listen to you. So when you talk to them, and about what is going on, it has happened successfully elsewhere. It should also be possible in Nigeria. I know that. But again, like you said earlier, Nigeria is such a place that, you know, it's difficult to actually just penetrate like that, you know. So, but however, I want you guys to look at it this way, because Nigeria is a bigger community. It's a big community when you talk to Africa, you know, so they have a lot part to play in Africa generally. So this should have actually started with Nigeria, but I'm happy that it started with Ghana. Ghana has wholeheartedly accepted the repatriates. Okay, they have given them soft landing. They have given them citizenship. They have given them land to farm or you know, different professions, like you said, engineers, lawyers, you know, all kind of professions. They are all there. They are all returning, and they are being the repatriates are being accepted in the soft landing. So I know that can happen in Nigeria, all across to North Africa, South Africa, and everywhere. You know, again, you know, a journey of 1,000 miles actually begins with a step, and you guys have started very, very well. Okay, now you have you are expecting like 12 Livingsporas in Nigeria pretty soon, right? And there's going to be a ceremony for that, like you said. Oh, thank God! It looks like he's able to join now. I'm talking about Elder Jabulani. Great. Oh my God! So we're going to extend this program a little bit if he's able to stabilize his device. Okay, so in the meantime, I don't know. Can you hear me, sir? Jabulani?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, great.
Yeah, we can hear you, Rasta. Greetings.
Finally.
My Lord, blessings, Rastafari.
Yes, just the picture
bless.
not coming out, but we love to hear your voice, man. Not the picture. If the picture is coming, additional progress. Bless.
Oh man, now okay, he has started. That's progress anyway. He has disappeared, but he will come back. I know he will.
That's progress.
Yeah, it's progress. So as I was saying, it is okay to start with any nation as long as this community movement is concerned. So you are expecting 12 Livingsporas in Nigeria pretty soon, right? Like in May. I said you're going to host the 12 Diasporas in May in Nigeria. Is that correct?
Right.
Very correct. Very correct. And they are coming. They are a potpourri of I and I them from the Caribbeans. You know, led by the former president of the Caribbean Rastafari organization. You know, the Caribbean as a continent, they have their own Rastafari organization, like what we have in Africa, RCC. So leading them will be Steve Reed, the former president of CRO, and a lot of them are coming with the intent of finding new ways and new opportunities in Nigeria and looking at things they might do if they eventually repatriate to Nigeria. So, and all of them, this will be their first time to Nigeria. Steve Reed has come to Africa a couple of times. In fact, we've met in a couple of other African countries, but this will be his first time in Africa, in Nigeria, and he's coming big time, just like my Lord Jabulani. November last year was his first time in Nigeria, though he has repatriated to Africa for quite some time. And he's the right kind of man. He's a poster boy that will tell you more about this repatriate and let people hear him as a repatriate, born in Jamaica and a citizen of the United Kingdom and an African by birth and by residence. So please talk to my Lord Jabulani. Blessed love.
Jabulani, here you go. This is the man we have been all waiting for. Okay, so I'm gonna just bring him in. This is Rasta Jabulani on your screen, and he is a Jamaican born and British by citizen, and he's a repatriate to Africa, now based in Zimbabwe. Rasta, Elder Rasta Jabulani, welcome to the Idele-Ero show. Can you hear me, Rasta?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Over to you. Over to you. Go ahead and say something.
Well, like I was coining that phrase, Livingsporas, because one thing is that we Africans who are abroad, out of the continent, we are very much alive. Now you see, a lot of what Rastafari do is we put a lot of positives into the negative wording that they would always try to label us under. Because right now, even I would say I've repatriated myself. Now repatriation again, with the word again, it actually means a government to government. Now, we as Rastafari, basically, we are free. We don't have a sitting government that is recognized by any governments. So most of I that have come forward, we have come forward through the migration laws, which is very harsh and very discouraging and very racist in many respects. Because when you look at the migration laws, remember my forefathers and mothers were taken out strictly for business. We were bought and sold even before we leave the continent, on the shores, actually in the courtyards of the churches, you see. And it was religion that captured us, because it was more, you would find that it was more of the Muslim who captured us mostly, and Christians. And Muslims, they sold us to the Christian churches who were doing the business for the banks, for the corporation and companies that then took us onto their ships and crossed to the Atlantic, to the Caribbean and the America. So basically, the migration laws is based on protecting business, nothing else, right? So this is one of the reasons why it's very difficult for serious repatriation to happen, because still for us as a people, our governments,
okay. All right. Rasta, my plan, you can take it from there.
Yes,
We are still, yeah, he's going to come back. He's going to come back. So go ahead and throw a little more light on the event that is happening. That's what we're talking about. You just said something about it. I was expecting the elder to say more on it. But with that being said, after Nigeria show, Ghana, you guys are big in Ghana right now. And we're coming into Nigeria. Which other nation in Africa continent are we working on?
Well, basically, what we want to do, as we were offered land there in Badagry, and looking at the historical side of Badagry, it would be an opening of the doors for.
Okay. All right. I think he was talking about the Badagry exit and entry, re-entry, like you said last time. He was trying to talk about the historical background of Badagry, you know, the significance of Badagry, you know, Lagos, you know, Badagry is Nigeria. So you talked about it the last time that it was a significant point where the slaves got exhibited. Now we are trying to use that as, you know, the same port of repatriation. So you said something about that the last time. Now,
Yes.
Now that I have Chairman on Mike Pan, and Eda is still struggling to fix his device, but I know that Mike Pan is back. So you was talking about Badagry. I don't know if you were listening to him while you were away for just a minute. Now, Badagry is significant to this movement. Rasta Black Rice talked about it the last time. What do you have to say about the significance of Badagry? My Pan, are you there?
Oh,
Rasta.
hold on, my king. A lot, you know. Don't forget, just like my Lord said the last time, Badagry was the point of departure for most of the item, you know, most of I forebears that were taken into slavery through the Atlantic. Badagry means a whole lot to a lot of people, you know. All you need to do is to go to Badagry, go to one of the slave museums, and you cry, you know, you cry. Even when you see some of the maybe just a bottle of gin, a bottle of gin that you know, you still see the container there of the gin. A lot of them. This is just one sample of maybe they gave the chief that bottle of gin, and the chief exchanged like 40 people for a bottle of gin.
That's right.
40 full-blooded men for a bottle of gin. Umbrellas, you see umbrellas that were exchanged with about 100 human beings.
Yeah, man.
You see the shackles. You can't even hold some of the shackles on your own. Talk less of when you wear them or when you're constrained with them and all that. So what we're trying to do is that point of departure is going to be a point of welcoming back of our brethren and our sister in them.
Right.
Like in Ghana, if you go to the Elmina Castle, you know, if you see the dungeon, the point of no return, you cry. But right now, when they came back, when they started coming back, I remember one of the excursions that Rastafari people went to that place, to that dungeon. You know, a lot of people, the people that came were from the Caribbean, from Jamaica, from Trinidad and Tobago, from America, from everywhere. Blacks from the Livingsporas who hadn't been to Africa before, whose grandparents or forebears were taken through those transatlantic slave ships, and most of them passed through those dungeons. All of them broke down. You see a small room where they have to quarter like 50 people, a room that will normally take like 3 people to breathe well. There were like 40, 50 people quartered in that same room, and a lot of them be dying there, dying for lack of air, for lack of food, lack of ventilation, lack of everything, lack of love, even, because love is the embodiment of every other thing.
That's right.
So for I, Badagry is a very significant place. That's why we've already gotten even the chiefs and the families. Some of them, we had, like my Lord, no chief, the chief of the recreation place, you know, is from the Mobi family, and he publicly apologized and seek for forgiveness from all people because of the roles his family played. They have their own family museum, and the families were making money from that. You see, so Badagry is the place where we have to start again by cleaning up the blood, by cleaning up the tears, and turning all the anguish into happiness, turning the suffering into joy, and turning all the ones who've lost there into bringers of goodness, bringers of wealth, bringers of life, bringers of everything nice. So Badagry will have to regenerate itself from that wicked past into a new beginning of that's why we insist that a lot of the Iden coming back must be granted land in Badagry. A lot of them have to be quartered in Badagry. A lot of them need to invest in Badagry, and Badagry needs to show them love, because he didn't show them love before. Though not the ones that are here now, that ones that did. So but the time has come for us to turn around all that badness of Badagry into goodness. That is why it's very, very significant to I. And the Lagos government agrees with us completely. That is why our deal with Lagos state government is for the land grant. You know, they don't have the authority for the grant of citizenship. So our own deal with them, just like we have with every other state in Nigeria, after that, the next port of call will be Edo State. Because your kingdom also played a very...
That's what I'm going to talk about right now. In the meantime, we still live on Facebook and YouTube. I'm reminding folks that this program is very, very, very important. And the discussions they're fired up. They are fired up. They are out there to let you know what's going on in your community, in my community, everywhere, in Africa and all around the world. So if you are just joining us, this is the Idele-Ero show coming live on Facebook and YouTube. Now, before the phone lines are already open. If you want, you can call this number on your screen, or you can send a text message, or you can even make a comment. If you want to ask questions, you want to add to you want to contribute to the discussion, you are very free to do so on the comment section. Again, this is the Idele-Ero show. Elder Rasta Jabulani is in and out. That's fine. When he come back, he will join us. We still have a few minutes to go. But before then, I'm bringing you to the point to talk about Benin City, Nigeria. That's in Edo State. Now, I don't know the route of Chairman Mike Pan, but I know that our reggae king here, Black Rice, is from Edo State, from Benin City, particularly. And he touched a little bit about it the last time, that connects this kind of movement. The movement, the taking away of our Reverend Oba Ovorame in 1897 probably has something to do, is probably connected to what we're talking about. What do you guys have to say? You just talk about Benin City, Chairman Mike Pan. So what's the connection between Benin City and your movement? Elder Rasta, I guess.
Yeah, I think my palm is having some network issue.
Yeah, it's network issue.
Network issue there.
Yeah.
You see, we're going to Benin City because That is where the whole story starts from. That is where we have to begin. It's a pity that we ceded Lagos, Badagry, and most of our colonies out to the Europeans those days. We were running things all the way from Onitsha, Calabar to Ghana, in Ghana, the Oba of Benin. So we're now taking it back to them to say, yes, those children of those days are coming back. What can you do for your children that were carried away? They didn't give those children the right to choose whether to go to Europe or not. This day now we have willing slaves. People are trekking across the Sahara Desert to go to Europe to be enslaved. But those days, those children, those families, they had the choice. They were just carried. So going to Benin City, we're going to see the Oba, and we're going to present our people to them to say, yes, these children are returning. Rechristening. We have to rechristen. We have to give them new name, new opportunity, and homeland reparation. I said a lot about it the other time, but I want my brothers to talk about it too now. If they have some other things to contribute to it.
Yeah. Okay, we have Eda Rasta Jablani back in line, and we also have the chairman Rasta Mike Pam. Also,
I'm
very much here. I know he's trying to do something right there. I'm gonna have you talk about Benin City in just a minute when you get done with what you're doing. Are you through? You with us? My pan, are you with us? Can you hear
I'm
us?
here.
Okay, go ahead. We were talking about the connection between Benin City and the movement. You heard about what Master Blacklight just said about it. What do you have to say? What do you have to contribute to that?
About
Benin City Rasta. Benin, I will go to Benin City and present our visitors.
Is that about what, my lord?
Benin City. Our movement to Benin City with our visitors, christening them, giving them baptizing them. Baptizing our visitors.
Okay. About the things we want to do for them. Oh, awesome. Awesome. Yeah. Is Joe there? I think, okay, he's coming back.
He's there. He's here.
Yeah, we want to give them the best of African hospitality. We want to officially welcome them to Africa by giving them African names. We are not going to do it ourselves. Our royal fathers will do that. People who have the authority from the gods of the land to do that. Know that thing. They will do that, and we'll take them around to all the important places they need to visit. Apart from tourism areas and all that, we'll also take them around to places with some business interests, depending on what they want to see. We also take them to the government. The government wants to host them. And we take them around, visit the beautiful sites in Nigeria. Actually, some of the places we would like to go, we might not eventually go because of the security crisis in the nation, because it won't be nice that you have visitors and you now take them to where it's not too pleasant. So there are areas we will avoid for now. And those are what we are talking about, when you are in your country and you don't have the kind of freedom you want. What kind of government is that? And people are coming to visit you. People are coming home to Africa for the first time, where they need to go around and look around Africa, and they won't have that kind of opportunity. All the things we want to do for them, all the things we want to show them, we will not do all of them. We'll do the ones that are within the areas where we are sure of their safety. That's the essence.
Well, thank you so much. Eda is in line with us. Elder Rasta Dablani. He probably don't know so much about Benin City, the connection of Benin City with your movement. But I want to say one thing real quick, based on the information given by Rasta man, Black Rice. Going to Benin City, I am a Benin man, pure Benin man from the royal family in Benin City. Now, when you go to Benin, he already laid the groundwork by saying that they're going to visit the Oba of Benin. The Oba of Benin is the first point of call, where you have to register what you're doing, or make him aware of what's going on. And we are very, very hospitable people. I know that Benin City is a peaceful place. Safety is pretty much guaranteed. But actually, no one guarantees safety but Jah. But I'm saying that going to Benin City, you do not have much problem as long as the traditional rulers, like you said, are involved in it. So the Oba of Benin is the first one of all. Then the state government and all that stuff. So other modalities will be worked out. So I know Rasta Jablani don't know so much about that. It's going to be you and Rastafari, reggae legend Black Rice that is going to do all that groundwork. Okay, now I was talking about other African nations. Now, Rasta Jabulani, where you are now, where you are resident now in Zimbabwe. So, how much of this is heard in Zimbabwe? Is the wave going on out there too, just the way it is in Ghana, Nigeria? Jabulani.
Well, in Zimbabwe, South Africa, especially Zimbabwe, we're having a lot of visitation, and we do have a good, we would say, a rising community of Jamaicans, various ones, some ones from the Caribbean, the Americas, and Europe that have returned. Some are married to Africans that they met in the Livingspora, and they've returned now.
Okay. Well, we have said a lot today, and I opened up the phone line, the WhatsApp phone line, and the comment section as well is open. We haven't had much responses from the audience, but hopefully they will watch this after the program is going to be available on YouTube and Facebook. So I will also enjoin you guys to share it to your groups, your various groups, and families, friends that you have on Facebook, all social media. Let this program that we did today go viral. Share it to your friends, share it to your family, share it to your groups, so that the awareness will continue to spread out. So that's the purpose of this platform. This platform is just here to help project you guys, and live on Facebook and YouTube. It's going to be out there, but it is also, up to you guys to spread it by sharing this very, 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 very special program to your groups, to your families, and to your friends, so that they will get to know about it. And you were talking about South Africa, the repatriates coming to South Africa, Zimbabwe, and all that, from the Caribbean, from everywhere. You were talking about how they have gotten married to people in the Livingsporas, now repatriated, coming back home. So that's what we're talking about. Can you please continue on that? Ed, are you there, sir?
We've even formed, yes, we've even formed, even in Zimbabwe, South Africa, we've got now the Jamaican and Caribbean Friendship Association. Zimbabwean South African Friendship Association, building that cohesiveness and interaction within the communities, right? So we're starting to grow on that level now. And right now I'm in negotiation with some of the chiefs and the kings in the various different provinces for land, for repatriation with investment for development and so forth. So that is where we are trying to bring a oneness, because through the traditional system, we have to revisit our ancestry to rebuild again that foundation of bringing our people home again. Now,
Okay. All right. We still have him, but the audio is kind of giving some little technical problem right there. Okay. I think it's about time for us to round up the program. We have spent quite a bit of time on the program today. We have heard from everybody. The voices of those that were expected to hear from, we have heard from them today.
Yeah. So we're building that now.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, Eda.
I suppose he's still talking about the network.
Okay. The network
playing
is.
Tricks on him.
Okay, so I'm going to round up this program the way it is today. We are going to continue. I want to assure you that this is your home. The Jobra Idele-Ero Show platform, is where you can always rely on. You can always trust this platform to use for all that you got to let the people know about this movement. Whenever y'all have any story to tell, you have anything to say to the people that you want people to know about, you want to expose to the people, this is the right place to be. The Jobra Idele-Ero Show. So whenever you guys have anything, just communicate with me, and then we will put it out there, just as we're doing right now. So I want to appreciate all of y'all present today. I appreciate all that you have done today. I assure you that it's going to go viral, it's going to go places, So I appreciate Elder Rasta Jabulani for making frantic effort to be in this show today. And we really appreciate you, sir. We appreciate you. We want to thank you.
I give them.
Yeah. Want to thank you. We expect more of you next time we open up the program. And now I also want to thank the chairman of the Rastafari Community Africa Nigeria chapter, Rastaman, Mike Pan. I want to thank you so much for coming in today. The same thing I want to do to my legend, my living legend. Yeah, my living legend, Black Rice, based in Holland. I want to thank you so much for always being part of this program. Before we leave, I want each and every one of you to say something as your closing remarks for today's program as we move forward. To the next time we come back in here, hopefully all devices will be working properly. I want to start with Elder Rasta Jabulani. Can you please say something to close the program?
Well, as far as I'm seeing now, there is a growing mindset of ones and ones who are out there in the Livingspora that are coming together with ones and ones who have what we would say have gone out there as living slaves. Now ones are returning home with that mind to reinvest, to rebuild Africa to the greatness that it once was when civilization went up the Nile and throughout the world, right? This is what we're looking now with Nigeria. We're looking forward to coming and helping to bring that oneness of I and I from the Livingspora and I and I brethren and sisters at home. So with all the works that the item is doing, we give thanks and pray that we can enhance and build upon that. Blessed love.
Blessed, blessed, blessed. Rasta, Mike Pan, your closing remark.
Yes, I. We give thanks and praise to the Most High. We give thanks and praises to the Most High for this opportunity. You know, I will give thanks to my brethren Joe Brown, Idele. You know, it's not easy. You know, say having a platform for Rastafari. So we say to all the item in the Livingspora, Africa is I and I home. You know, Africa is the home for black man them, and I and I is preparing a ground for all man them. But you have to be true African to be able to partake in this sumptuous dinner for all Africans, as directed by an I, Musa Jah, Rastafari, Selassie. I give thanks and praises for this. Selassie guardians. Boom. Nigeria is home for all of you. Come back home with a sir, Rastafari.
Selassie.
Yeah. Okay. Legendary reggae superstar Black Rice. Your turn.
Yeah, I give thanks and praises itinerally still. I want you to understand that we don't appreciate. When you say appreciate, Uno, it's like you don't like us. We appreciate love. We have to show love to each and every man and man. You know, even the book Allah say we give thanks and praises, you know, when you're to your enemy. You know, but then we know our enemy, we still love them still. That is why most of us today in Babylon. You see, so we appreciate love your hosting I still, and we give thanks and praises to the Most High God. Special greetings to Igilla. Adema, you try to remember, you know, in Badagry, you know, and Honorable in Lagos. We give thanks to the Honorable in the House of Assembly in Lagos. I don't want to make mention of names now because of positions and things. But Likuma later will be greater. Rastafari.
So I'll see that. Okay, so once again, thank you all for coming. And you guys enjoy the rest of your day or your evening, wherever you are. Thank you so much. God bless you. God bless you.
Bless Rastafari.
In what time? It's coming up to close the show. In more time.
History caught up with her when Prince Ogun ran here for cover. She gave him cover and our shelter over a listening post. This young prince, he became a king of a warrior great. And Emota was immortalized. That's how Emota found to stay. Emota, knock away trauma, knock every killing. Okay, Maria, Eva, Woda Reclama. Emota, knock away trauma, knock every killing. Okay, Maria, Eva, Woda Reclama. Emota, knock away trauma, knock every killing. Okay, Maria, Eva,